Imagine walking into a town where dinner is still on the table, fires have recently burned to ash, and homes are completely intact. But every single human being has vanished without a trace. No bodies, no blood, no signs of a struggle, just an eerie, echoing silence. This isn't a plot from a Hollywood horror movie. This is a real historical event that took place on American soil. It is a mystery that has baffled historians, scientists, and conspiracy theorists for over 4 centuries. The Lost Colony of Roanoke. In the late 1500s, a group of over 100 English settlers, men, women, and children, established a new life on an island off the coast of North Carolina. They had hopes, dreams, and a future. But within 3 years, an entire community was completely erased from the face of the earth. When rescuers finally arrived, they found a ghost town. The people were gone, but they left behind one chilling clue. Carved into a wooden post was a single, cryptic word: Croatoan. What does this word mean? Where did an entire colony disappear to? And why has modern science still failed to solve this haunting puzzle? Today, we are diving deep into the dark history of Roanoke, uncovering the secrets the government didn't want you to know, and exploring the terrifying theories that might finally explain what happened to the lost colony. Make sure to watch until the very end, because our final theory will change everything you thought you knew about American history.
To understand how they vanished, we first have to understand why they were there. The year is 1587. Queen Elizabeth I wants England to claim its stake in the New World, competing against the powerful Spanish Empire. A visionary explorer named John White is appointed as the governor of a new English settlement. He gathers 115 brave souls, including his pregnant daughter, Eleanor, and sails across the treacherous Atlantic Ocean. They land on Roanoke Island, a beautiful but isolated strip of land. Hope is high. Shortly after arriving, Eleanor gives birth to a baby girl named Virginia Dare. She becomes the very first English child born in the Americas, a symbol of new beginnings. But the dream quickly turns into a living nightmare. The settlers soon realize they are completely unprepared. Food supplies are dwindling dangerously fast. The local resources are scarce, and tensions are rising, with some of the nearby Native American tribes who view these white settlers as hostile invaders. Realizing that the colony will not survive the upcoming winter, the settlers beg Governor John White to sail back to England and return with desperate food supplies, tools, and reinforcements. White is torn. He doesn't want to leave his daughter and his newborn granddaughter behind in a dangerous, untamed land. But he has no choice. If he stays, they all starve. Before he boards his ship, White sets a strict ground rule with the settlers. He tells them, if you are forced to leave this island due to danger or attack, carve the name of the place you are going into a tree or a post. And if you are in distress, carve a cross above the name. With that final warning, John White set sail for England, promising to return in just a few months. He had no idea that this would be the last time he would ever see his family alive.
John White arrives in England, ready to gather supplies and immediately head back. But fate has other plans. Just as he prepares his return voyage, a massive war breaks out between England and the Spanish Armada. Queen Elizabeth issues a total lockdown. Every single English ship is seized for the war effort. No one is allowed to cross the Atlantic. John White is trapped. He spends days, months, and eventually years begging the authorities for a ship, knowing that every single second that passes means his family on Roanoke Island is moving closer to starvation or death. Finally, after 3 agonizing years, the war ends. White manages to secure a relief ship. It is August 1590 when he finally arrives back on the shores of Roanoke Island. It is evening. The sun is setting, casting long, dark shadows across the water. White and his crew row to the shore. From a distance, they see a plume of smoke rising from the trees. Relief washes over White. The smoke means someone is alive. They shout into the darkness, singing familiar English songs to let the settlers know that help has arrived. But no one answers. Only the sound of the wind echoes back. The next morning, White and his men march into the settlement. What they find freezes them to their core. The heavy wooden fortification walls are still standing, protecting an empty fortress. The houses have been carefully dismantled, not torn down by violence. There are no signs of a battle, no bones, no clothing, no graves. The smoke they saw the night before, it was coming from a random brush fire in the woods, not a campfire. The entire colony was a ghost town. And then John White spots the post. Carved into the heavy wood in capital letters are the letters C-R-O-A-T-O-A-N. On another nearby tree, the letters C-R-O are etched. White remembers his instruction. He looks closely at the carvings. Is there a cross? Is there a sign of distress? No, there is no cross. This meant the settlers had left willingly. But where did they go? And why did they leave absolutely nothing else behind? For over 400 years, historians have tried to decode the word Croatoan. Let's look at the most prominent theories, ranging from historical facts to terrifying possibilities. Theory number 1, integration with the tribes. Croatoan was actually the name of a nearby island, modern-day Hatteras Island, and it was home to a friendly Native American tribe called the Croatans. Many historians believe that, as starvation set in, the colonists realized England was never coming back. To survive, they packed up their belongings, dismantled their homes, and moved to live with the Croatoan tribe. Eventually, marrying into the tribe and blending into their culture. Decades later, European settlers reported seeing Native Americans with gray eyes and light hair in that region. Could this be the bloodline of the lost colonists? Remember, England was at war with Spain. The Spanish also had colonies in the Americas and desperately wanted to eliminate any English presence. Some believed that Spanish soldiers located Roanoke, launched a surprise attack, and wiped out, or captured, the entire colony. To avoid an international scandal, they might have cleaned up the entire site, leaving no bodies behind. However, Spanish historical records from that time show they were actively looking for Roanoke, but could never find its exact location. If they couldn't find it, how could they destroy it? If the settlers didn't move and weren't attacked, then they starved. Roanoke Island experienced one of the worst droughts in history during those 3 years. Some darker theories suggest that, as food ran out, paranoia set in. The colony may have turned on itself, turning to violence, madness, and eventually, cannibalism. Those who survived may have fled into the deep woods, changing their identities, or perishing alone in the wilderness. In recent years, archaeology has brought us closer to the truth. In 2012, researchers examined an old map drawn by Governor John White himself. Hidden underneath a paper patch, they discovered a secret symbol, a red and blue star marking a fort location about 50 miles inland from Roanoke Island. Archaeologists went to that exact location, known as Site X. Digging deep into the soil, they found English-style pottery, iron tools, and gun parts, dating back to the exact time of the Roanoke colony. This suggests that the colony didn't just vanish into thin air, they split up. Some went to Croatoan Island, while a core group moved inland to build a secret hidden fort. But despite these incredible discoveries, the full truth remains buried in the soil. We still don't know the final fates of Eleanor White or little Virginia Dare. Did they find peace? Or did they meet a dark, tragic end in the untamed wilderness of the New World? The story of Roanoke remains a haunting reminder of how fragile human life can be when facing the unknown. What do you think happened to the Lost Colony? Do you believe they survived and joined the tribes? Or do you think a darker, hidden force took them in the middle of the night? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this mystery, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history's greatest secrets, and share this video with a friend who loves a good mystery. Until next time, keep questioning the unknown.